Okay, next up is The Flash, one of my favorite characters of all time. This show is the reason why I fell in love with The Flash. I thought Wally West as The Flash was hilarious, and this character was super funny. I think he was actually voiced by Michael Rosenbaum, who is also Lex Luthor on Smallville, which was even stranger, but he fit really well as The Flash. He cracked the jokes, made me laugh, was one of the big draws for me for the cartoon. Of course, here's the illustration here on the side, happy as ever. Let's go ahead and open up The Flash. Boom! And here is The Flash, right over here. First things, impressions out of the box, it looks like a good figure. The paint is nice on the lower half of the figure, top not so much. Face is very happy. You know, the usual kind of articulation. Side profile here looks good. Looks good for a figure. Now let's go ahead into the things that I don't like about it. So on here, there are a lot of blemishes on this figure, even more so than the John Stewart one. I mean, it kind of stinks because from far away, the color palette looks very on point, looks very good. But upon closer inspection, every single thing that has yellow on it is blemished. There's that insignia right over there. The paint bleeds, not great. The belt lightning over here, especially on the sides, there's a lot of bleed on there as well. Same thing for his armbands. There's a lot of bleed on the paints there from the yellow and the red. It's not on point. And of course there is the wingtips. They look really good from far away, but upon closer inspection, there's also again a lot of bleed on there as well for the wingtips on his head. Which is weird because on the lower half the paint is perfect. The paint on the boots is perfect, but you know, it's probably easier to paint them because they're actually a separate thing entirely. That's a separate piece there, so you know, it makes sense why that paint job there is perfect. So it is a bit disappointing because he's my favorite character. Also, there's no torso pivot. There's no articulation on his waist at all, which is kind of weird because the way that I like to pose my figures when they run, I always like to twist them a little bit and then have them run at an angle. And he'll like, if he wants to run, he'll look kind of goofy running like this because like that's not how I make my running pose. Like, this is too basic. One thing also I want to note is that this head comes off incredibly easy. None of the other figures came off, and this one did. It kind of makes sense because of the head, the way that the neck is built on here. So I'm expecting John Stewart's head to come off too, but I feel like maybe the socket was just a little bit too loose in the bottom over here. But you know, there's the Flash, guys. One thing I wanted to add about this figure, and I know that I gave a lot of bad stuff in this figure, is that his face is really nice. He has a nice smile, and you know, like in a lot of cases, it's the smile that matters a lot of times. Smiles will get you far in life. I mean, like, look at the Flash.